Welcome to the Romance Your Tribe podcast with me, Janet Beckers, where every episode is about action, creating an online business you absolutely love, and bringing joy to the work you do. Let's get this party started. Hello, everybody. Janet Beckers here, and I'm so excited to welcome you to a unique series that we have as part of the Romance Your Tribe podcast, which is Tribe Spotlight, where you actually get to meet fantastically inspiring peers of yours who are creating success in their business through one of the coaching programs that I run. And I absolutely am very excited to welcome you to Julie Watson from strongerthanmyexcuses.com.au. G'day, Julie.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Now, Julie, you and I have known each other. How many years do you reckon it's been?
It's getting close to 20. Yeah.
I know, isn't that? And we have met through business groups.
Yes.
And we've both had different businesses along that time. So we've actually both got to witness and be part of each other's evolution.
The evolution, yes.
Business owners, which is really exciting because that is one of the things that is very underestimated, I think, in business is the actual personal growth that you have from being a business owner.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. And I think about my business I had back then, and it is still in my head. It's still on paper as a great business, but I had no confidence back then, and I never took it to the level that I could have. But that's probably a whole other story.
Well, that is interesting. And you know what? For you, because Stronger Than My Excuses is all about confidence, isn't it? It's all about confidence, getting out there that no matter how scared you are, scare-sided you are,
that's right,
that you're actually going to do it. So you are just the poster child for that, which I absolutely adore. So I'm really excited to introduce everybody to Julie. So before we start talking about the big changes that you've been making just in this last few months, really, that you've been part of the Attractor Tribe Academy, I really want to just let people get to know you. So quite briefly, who is it that you serve and how do you do that?
Okay, so quite briefly, she says she knows me really well.
Well, it's not just you. I do this for everybody because honestly, we can go down the rabbit hole of me wanting to explore those stories. Yeah.
No, I don't talk much. Okay, so who I serve. So really, I started with my passion, which was I wanted to be a speaker, so I started to do these panel discussions, and then I realised everyone wanted to be on them, and I thought I could help so many people. There's charities, there's not-for-profits and social enterprises and all these people that I could help to get on there and be in a bigger arena and actually have a voice. And I've always been passionate about that. But part of that was my downfall as well. I was always wanting to help. And look, I'm not doing this out of, I'm a helper and all of that. But I just wanted to help people, and I was good at doing that, the soccer club or whatever, but I was never helping myself. So now I've decided that by looking at more successful and businesses that are already employing people, that are already in that growth stage. So now I'm helping them. They are my clients, but my passion is to go back once I am filled up and overflowing my own cup, to go back and really passionately help those people who need a bit more support. So, I've got a bit of a passion for supporting people, but we really can't do that until we've got ourselves in the right position. So,
look, and we're going to dive into that a little bit further in a moment, because you know what, there are a lot of people who will be listening to this podcast who are in business because they're really motivated to make an impact and to change people's lives. And I know that a lot of the people listening are just like you are, Julie, because I am just like that. And I tend to deliberately attract people who are in business because they want to make a difference. They want to help
Yes,
people.
yes.
And so that is a really common challenge, to then go, oh, hang on though. This is a business as well.
Yes, that's right. So I've definitely started targeting or looking more at professional organisations, lawyers, accountants, financial people, bankers. I'm approaching people like Macquarie Group and like large organisations. I'm
excellent.
Really going for it now.
Yeah. And so before we dive into like how the process you went through to get super clear on that, I just really want to clarify for people and just explore a little bit more. When you were saying that you were running panels, now for some people, they could be visualizing lots of different things. So when you're saying panels, what does that look like? Because I've actually been a guest expert on one of your panels and absolutely loved the experience and gained clients simply by being a guest on your panel, by the way.
Yes.
And since then, I've also gone along in the audience because I've got to meet some really fantastic people who were experts on panels on different topics. So what do you mean by panel? Can you just describe? Well, let's describe the panel that you were running for yourself rather than it being one that you had coached another business owner to run. The one that you ran where I was a guest, just so people can understand, like, where does it run? How do you, what's the end product look like? And about, having an audience as well.
Yeah, so I started it to build my profile, but then realised everyone wanted to be on the panel. So what it is I offer a media production kit so people can make their own, but I had to do some samples to let people know what this was. So originally I did them to build my profile, decided, okay, I need to template this and license it, which I did. And then I started doing, so they were all about mindset and positivity and, how do you get through procrastination and fear and doubt and all that. The next series I produced was on other people's topics. So that's where we had the one about Speak Up, which you were on, about having your voice heard, whether it's through podcasts or through social media or whatever it might be, or a panel discussion. Then I did one on suicide prevention. I did one on athletes that are leaving elite sport and how they end up with some mental health issues. But, all these different topics, I can't even think of them all now. Business topics, marketing. So people now will come on and say, okay, how can I answer my clients' questions? Say I'm a banker and I really want people to know what I'm doing. So I'm going to make a series of 8 shows, and each one is going to target a different topic. One episode might be about investing in a property. One might be about how to get a mortgage. One might be about choosing a financial advisor, or all the different, or what are the tax implications of investment. So a banking organisation could have a series of topics, and then when people ring, they say, I'm interested in an investment property. What can you tell me? Well, come and meet with us. In the meantime, let me send you an episode of a show that we just hosted and produced on exactly that topic, and we'll answer a lot of your questions in that. And they're not self-promotional, so it's very educational. So they're all filmed, they're all put onto our YouTube platform, and that way they're all in one spot, but each of the clients that has the kit and makes their own shows can put them out anywhere they need to market them, whether it's email marketing, social media, all sorts of different things.
Excellent. And I think the thing for people to visualize what it looks like is the end product is that you will have a series of videos that you may, maybe in all those different places that you can distribute it. But each video actually has maybe, say, 4 or more specialists, and they might be sitting around a table. They might be on a panel that you would see on a television show. So you're creating your own panel television show, but you are the host. You are the person that is deciding who the experts are. And I love this business model that you have, because you've got it from both sides, where you're actually producing them, but now other people are producing them. But it allows them that they don't have to be the expert on everything, but
No.
by bringing in experts, they get to position themselves as being the leader in that
The collaborator,
particular
yes.
industry, the collaborator. And so you're then being, it's a really great model, because
Yes.
it allows people to be able to go, wow, man, they are totally pro.
Yes.
Because look at this fantastic panel discussion, this video that's then could be repurposed in so many other ways.
Oh,
but
yes,
also even the production of it. I've quite liked the ones, so for example, the one where I was one of your guest experts, it was actually held in a restaurant. We had the panel at the front, Julie's filming it, and so there was a studio audience, so they got
Yes.
to ask questions. And so that's also another way for a business to be able to kind of
Yeah.
have an event as well.
Yes.
So it can
And
work at so many levels.
the event's good because the people that come to that, and they've bought in a little bit more, and they're more likely to share and promote it, and they're also more likely to want to do their own series or be on a panel discussion. And the beauty of it, I think, is that there's no one sits on that panel and talks about themselves. They talk about their experiences and they educate people. But anyone watching that show is not sitting there going, oh, these people are just talking about themselves and promoting themselves. There is no self-promotion, but automatically everyone is seen as an expert. And as you said, the host is always seen as the main expert that has collaborated.
Oprah. They are the Oprah baby. So I really wanted to explore this business model, because I think that you've done something exceptionally clever, because it's really using the panel things that you have on television, bringing the things that work well in summits, in conferences, in podcasts, and bringing them into a unique format and showing other business owners how they can do it. I love it. So now let's explore. When you came into the academy, you already had this underway. You already had your licensing. You'd already licensed all of you and your templates.
Yes.
You already had that. So you're a person who has been in business for at least 20 years, since that's how I've known you. And you already had the expertise to be able to run numerous ones of these panels, and you had that expertise to create licensing. What were you hoping to gain by joining the Attractor Tribe Academy?
Okay, so yes, I've been in business. My first business was a surf shop when I was 22. So a lot more than 20 years.
More than,
But gee, I wish I knew what I know now back then. But honestly, I don't regret anything I've done. It's all been enjoyable. But I think, first of all, I grew a lot of confidence probably about 5 or 6 years ago. I learned that I had to be confident, not just positive and friendly and likable. I just wanted people to like me. Now I realise it's confidence that I needed, confidence to take a risk, confidence to step up. But I noticed when I started this business, I was confident in myself, but I started every now and then going, oh, I wasn't sure I had the confidence in my business, which was kind of weird. I thought, I'm a bit scared. I was getting scared. And I thought, you got to push through this. You've got to push through this. And part of it was the overwhelm, because I'm sitting in this office. Here I am here. And I go, well, what do you think? What do you think you should do? Well, I don't know. What do you think, Julie?
I love that.
I don't know.
For people who are here on the audio, Julie's doing a really good acting job of being two people there.
So I've only got me to talk to. And I've only got my opinion. So, of course, I'm always right.
Yeah.
But, of course, I'm actually not always right.
Yeah.
We all know. So I knew that I understood business. I knew what I had to do. And, of course, we still all procrastinate, just one coffee before I make that important sales call. And then you make the coffee and something happens. Oh, and this happened. And by the time you know it, it's a bit late in the day to actually do that sales call now. And so much was going in my head, including some procrastination, not a lot, because I am stronger than my excuses majority of the time, but we're not perfect. But then I went, you know what, there's too much going on in my head and I need clarity here. I know what to do, but for some reason it's just a friend of mine, we used to talk about it, that was my spaghetti brain, because it was all in there and it was all mixed around like a bowl of spaghetti, and I needed it to be straightened out like like uncooked spaghetti, lined up, so I could go do this first, then do that, then do that. And I couldn't, but it's too important. I've got people want me to I've got to do my website, and I've got to do this, and I've got to do an email marketing campaign that it's got to be monthly, and it's got to be. And then I thought, and in the meantime, no sales calls are getting made.
Yeah.
What's happening here? So that's when I went, I sort of need someone to kick me in the butt a little bit, but also just give me clarity about what to do next, and put things in order, get rid of the overwhelm a little bit, because not just because you're telling me what to do or your program could help me, but because just to help me put it in the right order and make me feel like I've got someone there, which you're there. And then those monthly meetings are fantastic. I love that, where we get to really chat and talk about things. But, when it's only me, it's just too hard. And I think anyone in business on their own must go through that. And I don't know if it's harder for women. I go to some meetings and I know that a lot of the men that are at the meeting are going home to a cooked meal.
Yeah.
Now, this is getting a bit sexist now, isn't it? But it's the same in reverse. It could be the opposite. But I know I've got to go home from that networking meeting and either have already prepared something or go home and cook or buy, there's no one else there cooking my dinner because I am single, although I have a boyfriend and we get together and we do things together. We stay together from time to time, but a lot of the time there's extra pressure there. So it's all in your head and it's all me. And I think I needed to get this sorted. And when I started on this program, immediately I went, it was like a weight off my shoulders, a sigh of relief to go, number one. And I'm just a bit ADD as well, and I also got your program and then almost rewrote each step onto my own little Word document so I could cross things out and highlight things.
Right.
And this needs to be done, and now that's done, and whoa, I'm getting through it. So, that's why I did it.
And you know what? Amazing. That clarity is probably one of the biggest outcomes that comes from doing the academy, because it does actually walk you through steps that a lot of times people will skip. Now, one of the things that I know that we did, Julie, was really discovered through doing the modules that you needed to be a lot clearer on your avatar, and then how that was going to then impact into the way that you could effectively do sales calls.
Absolutely.
Because as you said at the beginning, you saw the people who you wanted to help, and that was starting with non-for-profits and charities.
Yes.
But as you discovered, that wasn't actually supporting your business.
No.
So let's walk through a little bit of the process that you used to get clearer on who you were going to do all of your marketing and your sales calls to, because we worked through a very definite process through the profitable avatar modules. So what did you do to get that clarity?
Look, I just followed the module, but I think it's the little things, isn't it? Because sometimes it's easier when you're with a partner, for instance, to make a decision about buying a house than to decide who's going to be the person cooking or who's going to do the dishes. The little things are what break people up, not buying a house or which car do we buy.
Right.
So it's the same in business. It made me, I heard about that somewhere, and I thought, those little things are the things we need to do in business that get us to the next level. It's not making a decision to have a business. It's not even what the business is. It's going in and going, I need help. It seems little to go, I just need to get someone to help me put this in order. But it was huge because it got me to the next step. And it stopped me procrastinating, and it made me go, oh, like when I've known for years that I've got to have an avatar, or you can't target everyone. If you target everyone, you target no one. We've all heard that for years, but, and we think we know it all, but we don't, because there's one little thing that you will say to me in your module, or have written in the module, that will go, I've known this, but just either the way you said it, or rereading it with you, and then going over it again in the video when we get to the group session, or whatever it might be. And it makes you, and it hits home, because you've just done something the day before, and then this happens, and then it all and you go, I totally get that now. I haven't got my avatar worked out.
Yeah.
I thought I did.
You thought you did.
I thought I had it, and I thought it was going to be these people, because I learned how to do my panel discussions on a zero budget. So why can't everyone? But not everyone's like me, and they go, oh, it sounds a bit, I don't know if I could do that, because I was targeting these not-for-profits and charities who have to go to a board and they have to get permission. Oh, we didn't bring it up at the meeting because it went too long, so we'll do it next month, and you've got to wait another month, and no one can.
Point.
Then I went, I need to fill up my own cup. I think there was something in there about this sort of thing as well, or we might have discussed it.
Yeah.
I need to be braver than this. I'm targeting easy targets, charities, and I want to help them, but they're easier to ask than going to a group of lawyers and saying, hey, I've got this great product and I need to be good to go to them.
Yeah.
And I did. And I've done that now. And now I'm going, whoa, that's what I need to do. Fill up my cup. So that little change to just say, I really need the avatar to be professional people, companies that are already established, big organizations, and then get them on board. And once I get a few of those, that will snowball, because people will go, oh, they've done it. Oh, wow, a group of lawyers did a series of shows. Well, we can certainly do it too. And so I can't believe that I should have known, but I needed to have it, as I said, put into this order. And it did actually start with the offer and bundle that I think that was in the very beginning. Get an offer, a small one to start with, to bring a little bit of income in. And I put an offer out there, and I got my first international client.
That's fantastic. I love, because that's one of the things that I have even before we do the first module. It's in the orientation is let's get you some cash in the door. So here's how you create a really, really simple module that takes no thinking, and you did it. And that's I love it that you just got that sale immediately. Now I love it that you actually mentioned that about the bundling, because we spend a lot of time on the offer and the bundling, as well as really nailing not just down lawyers, but at what stage are they needing, what needs have they got, like that, through the profitable avatar, the quadrant. I love that you started off with, okay, I can bundle together what I've got, and I got my first international client.
Yes.
Now, once we worked through that process of really identifying who was highly motivated to be able to have a package that you've got that was they could use to market them as the professionals, then you've gone on to different sales, haven't you? Because you've mentioned sales calls through this whole thing about you kept on putting them off. So let's talk about that very first sale, like within the first week of the program for your first international client. Once you'd done this work and got clear on who really you should be marketing to, can you share what happened then?
Okay, so I'll just step back, because the first international person was just a bundle I put together, as you said, to just get some money in the door. So it wasn't actually anything to do with my kit or my panel discussions. I just put together a mini mentoring program with my book, Innovation Secrets.
Yep.
My best-selling book, I should say.
Yeah,
and one of my T-shirts.
Go you.
So I bundled the T-shirt, the book, and a mini mentoring session, and she was from Minnesota.
Love it.
The first person. And then I've got a few others, but so that was just to get money in the door. So I don't know if you wanted me to talk now about moving on to actually selling my media production kits.
Yeah, because I remember you sent me a message going,
Woohoo.
whoa, I
Yes.
can't believe it. And also
Yes.
mentioning that you actually really were excited about doing sales calls rather than procrastinating.
Yes, and the whole scare side of things. So we'll get into that. But so what I did was, once I did the bundle and I thought, okay, that worked, not massively, but just got a little bit in, and I got that client from Minnesota. I went, whoa, okay. So, and I thought, okay, that worked. Moving on through the program, my avatar has to change from people that are a bit needy to people who are wanting to really step into get their message out there and help their people. So I help my clients understand what they do. And that's what I started realizing. And I changed the wording, and my whole demeanor changed to say, hey, we are an out-of-the-box approach where you get to answer your clients' questions before you even meet them.
Love it.
Because you're sitting at it in a panel.
Such a change in your marketing.
Yeah, I changed that around, and I went to these, and this was a cold call, but I always start with a warm, I think of something that we've got in common or whatever. So I said to these first people, I said, have we met at this networking event? Maybe we have, because I'd heard their name. And she said, oh, we have been to one of those. And I never met her, but I thought, I'll just say that. And it got me the conversation starter. And then we just talked for a minute. Then she said, send us more information. They came back and said, we're very impressed and we'd like a further Zoom meeting to talk it over. They came back again and said, we're really happy and we'd like to go with the full package. So I gave them, I give them 3 options, which is a DIY kit. Now, the full package, I don't know whether I say how much it's worth.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah,
just
so it's almost
numbers here.
Well, it's almost $20,000. So
that's fantastic.
Now, the reason for that is because the kit is the same for everyone, but the DIY, they do the majority of the work.
Yep.
Or all of the work, really. So we show them how to get a venue, how to get sponsors to cover their costs, email templates, how to get guests, email templates, all the things I sent you about, would you like to come on to a panel? Here's the date and time and what you need to know.
Yep.
Here's some tips about working
organized.
in camera. So all of that is templated in the kit, as well as information. So the people that get the full production kit get the same kit, but we do finding the guests, finding if they need us to find a host, we find the venue, we get the videographer, we get the editor, and we pay for all that. And so they get 8 fully broadcast shows at the end, as well as 8 podcasts and 16 blogs, and because we do all the
them, that is an absolute no-brainer offer.
They get the trailer promotions, they get the quote cards, all of that.
And so the thing that I love about this, and this is a really good point for people who are listening, because what we've looked at here are action steps that you can take, is that thing of, really getting super clear on like who really needs your offer. And then what does it mean for them? And if you really nailed it once you worked out that you were showing them how to answer all of their clients' questions before they became a client. So their sales became easier. And then I love that what you're actually demonstrating here is what we do in the Package for Profit program, which is the nested business model, which means you've got one really awesome package that you've got to do with your templates, your business in a box. But then you can be having 2 or 3 levels of that, of a thing of, do it yourself, like self-study, through to let us do the lot for you. So that you're not having to reinvent things. So it's super easy for you to be able to do it. And I just love that you've gone from procrastinating around the sales to it being so easy to be able to make those offers and to actually enjoy doing it. So
and I still get scared, by the way. I'm 100% more confident in myself, no doubt about that. But I still get a bit scared with the business. I go, am I really asking, these large organisations to buy my kit. I mean, it's just me, really. But I'm as good as anyone else I know. I mean, at what I do, no one else does what I'm doing, actually.
Yeah.
So I have to keep reminding myself
story,
that. And I get professionals to help me. So I'm not a videographer or an editor. And I'm also in touch with production agencies now to say, when I sell the full kit, I'm going to be starting to template what I'm doing with these first few clients that I've got, to then say, okay, the production company will do that part of it. So again, it can just be done over and over.
Absolutely.
10 of them can be going on at once. Yeah.
And I think this is a really good lesson for people listening, is a business can scale so much faster when you have one really good offer that you can add different levels to. You don't have to keep on reinventing. You can very easily see, once you've got a $20,000 package, and it will go up, Julie. It will go up with your confidence. You can see very, very easily how, by the way, you can, I can see you can very easily not be making a 6-figure a year business. It can be easily a 6-figure a month.
Yes.
So that's 5 sales. Of that top level. So you can see very easily there is your 7-figure business.
Yes.
It's not rocket science.
No. And I do put on my pricing, just for the viewers or the listeners, on my pricing that I send to people, it is introductory pricing at the moment.
Yeah.
Because I am, because I haven't been through the whole process from start to finish the package with someone on this top package, for instance. I've got to go through that over the coming months with them.
Yeah.
I mean, what if I find out, oh, gosh, it actually took me a lot longer, or I spent more time than I thought, or I had to spend more money than I thought, and now that eats into the profit margin. And so that's why it's an introductory offer. I need to make sure that I can test that full package out a few times.
Absolutely. And that's a big part with which we talk about beta programs within the program. But the nice part that you've just demonstrated there, Julie, is a lot of times when people think about doing a beta program or a foundational program, they think, oh, I've got to do free first. I've got to work with people for free so that I know that my systems work and everything. No. You have an introductory price.
Yes.
You are getting paid for your brilliance, and then you can polish it and make it work.
Yes.
So thank you. I might wrap up now, because I do end up talking to you for ages. So when it comes to, I want to just do a little bit of an overview for people who are listening about action steps that Julie's demonstrated that I know that you can be taking. So number one is leaving your ego at the door. When you've been in business for a long time, it's very, very difficult to say, I need help. So leaving your ego at the door, which Julie did brilliantly, which meant that she just went, oh, okay, Janet says do this at step 1. All right, she says, send out this offer, this quick bundle, and bring in some cash in the door. Done. You did it fast. Like, I reckon you knocked that out in a day. Then it was, okay, right, now I've got that cash in the door and I'm feeling better about my, things are happening. Now we're really going to work through the process, get super clear on your avatar. So doing that work, and I'll walk you through very distinct steps, because once you've got that, you can then really bundle all of that through to your marketing messages, who you're going to be doing on your sales calls, how you scale it up. It becomes so much simpler. You've just demonstrated really simply how you can take a business that can feel as if it's overwhelming to, right, this is all I got to focus on. These things here are the important parts. And so for people who are listening that are going, all right, you're just such a great example of somebody that just gets shit done, Julie, which I love. So for people who are listening and go, right, I'm going to do something here. Apart from come and joining us in the academy, and you can do that, just contact me and I'll show you how, you can join us. But what would be some really good action steps that people can go, right, one thing that I reckon I can do this week to step into that feeling of scarce-sighted and make it happen?
Okay, so I think the biggest thing I did was, instead of being we need to learn. We need to constantly learn, but don't become a seminar junkie. So I think the biggest thing is having a morning routine. So if you can force yourself, like I said, it's the little things. Make yourself get up at a set time every day, probably a bit earlier than you normally would. So if you've got kids, you can start going to bed early and get up at 5, whatever it is. I get up at 5. Get up at 5, get up early and go, right, I might make a coffee, sit down and do a little mindfulness, and then I might watch something motivational, and then I'll have my breakfast and healthy breakfast. I put that in an order, and because of my ADD, I actually have to write that down and kind of tick it off every day. But I don't go and watch something motivational and then go, oh, well, Tony Robbins says you have to do this. So that's what the secret to success is. And then you watch another one the next day and you change. Don't chop and change. Just have a morning routine that suits you. It might be just walk out, put your feet on the grass, or go for a 10-minute walk, just a small thing. Whatever it is, do it religiously. And include in that your little lesson that you might get a little something from Janet, or go in and do Janet's course for half an hour, and then you go back out into the kitchen and start your normal day of breakfast and kids and whatever. But set aside that time, and if you can't just do that for yourself religiously and make a habit of that, then what chance have you got of making everything else work in sales calls and getting everything else working? So I think a morning routine and sticking to it.
You know what? That is
a little thing.
That is really good advice. And especially when it comes like with a course like the Attractor Tribe Academy, it's got step 1, step 2, they all build on each other. But a lot of times people have been sold over and over and over, oh, look, you'll just, you'll learn this in a day and then you'll have your 6-figure business next week. That's bullshit. So you need to be taking little steps and there, as you said, all the way through this, it's all the little things. So doing those, going through the course, but doing, okay, there is this activity. It's broken all up into like coffee break length classes anyway. So
yes,
this is the lesson I'm going to do. These are the action steps I'm meant to do. I'm going to do these action steps and I'm done for the day. But each time, so that's one thing I noticed with you, Julie, is like you were really fast at putting out, okay, that bundle and get the cash in the door. So obviously you were walking your talk there.
Yes.
That you went, right, okay, I'm doing this little thing. And that's all I'm going to focus on. And now I'm going to do the next bit. I'm just doing that little thing. And that is a great discipline for people to use. So whether it is for implementing a course like the Attractor Tribe Academy, or whether it is something like I am going to be putting social media content out on a regular basis, whatever it is for you, daily, weekly, whatever.
Yes.
That you've then got, okay, well, I've got to do that before 9 a.m. or whatever it is, whatever the thing is that you are working on at the moment, that's great advice.
Yeah. And one thing I stopped doing is I don't kick myself if I don't do it one day. Sometimes I'm at my parents' place and I can't get up in the morning and put on my meditation thing because they'll hear it. I just go, you know what, it doesn't matter, because I know I'll do it again the next day. Or even if I'm at my boyfriend, if I don't do it, or if I'm off camping, or I don't care. I don't kick myself, but I don't go, oh, well, that didn't work then because I haven't done it for a week. It didn't work. I go, no, start again, come back to it, keep coming back to it, start again, until now I do it almost every day. But as I said, if I miss a day or two, doesn't matter.
You're allowed to be human.
If I'm hungover, no, I would never be hungover. But it's just something, you can't change it too much, but you can add the little things in that you learn. And in fact, I'm going to go back because I've changed so much since I did the avatar. I started getting right into it and changing, and I haven't gone back to really look back, and I'm going to go back and do that section again because I want to see how my mind's changed since the last time.
Oh, that is great advice. And I'll leave on one last point before we've let people know how they can get in contact with you. Is very often this sort of work of really getting clear on your uniqueness, the profit in you, the profitable avatar, like really clear on who you're going to be serving, those things do change as you grow in your skills and your confidence. And so it's a really fantastic thing to revisit. So I have clients that are coming back to this program after years and doing those modules or doing the offer modules again and again and again because they have grown. I actually do them myself. And one of the first episode that I've done since we've relaunched the series here was about me walking the talk, doing all of the interviews that I teach people to do as part of the avatar work, and made changes throughout my own business. So doesn't matter how long you've been doing it. Like I'm really pleased that you mentioned that about you going back now that you recognize how much you've grown. So so now for people who are listening who absolutely would love to know more about what you do and just realize what an awesome woman you are, what is the best way for them to get in contact with you, Julie? And what could you do together if people do contact you?
Okay, so of course I've got a website, strongerthanmyexcuses.com.au, and Facebook page, YouTube channel. YouTube channel is Stronger Than My Excuses.
And we'll put links to all of this on the page as well. Yeah.
So that's it's great. And I've got on the YouTube channel, there's quite a few little, just the trailer promotions. So if people want to go and just get a taste of what it looks like, people can just see a little trailer promotion, which are only just 20 to 60 seconds. So that's an easy way to have a quick look.
Yeah, great idea.
Also, so what I love to do is, of course, I'd love it if people are interested in having their own media production kit and getting their own series out there. But that's quite a discussion that we would have, and they can contact me by email, which is julie@strongerthanmyexcuses.com.au.
Yep.
It's long, but it's pretty easy.
Very memorable.
But also I love presenting and speaking to groups. So whether it's a podcast or whether it's a live audience, if anyone needs a speaker or a presenter, I've got a few various different speeches or presentations that I can do, and I can vary that up as well to be a bit more of an on the couch with you on a stage where people can we can do a live on the stage. Someone can come up and I can help them get through whatever their issue might be with procrastination or fear and doubt.
Sure.
And it's a really good little session that we can do. So there's a few options there if anyone wants to contact me about that. And that's it really.
That's fantastic. And I love that. That's a great way for people to get to know you, and also just as an insight for people, I'm actually adding a new module into the Attractor Tribe Academy about how to be a great guest on podcasts and what topics you can talk about and how to get those gigs. And you've just demonstrated so beautifully, Julie, that sending out an invitation to people who are listening to a podcast saying, I would love to be on your podcast and here's what to talk about.
There you go.
Just demonstrating that that courage and that scarce. We've used the word scarce-sighted quite a lot, which is that feeling of when you're really, really scared when something like scares the shit out of you because, whoa, that is like stepping out of my comfort zone, but it's exciting at the same time because if it works, whoa, how good is that? So thank you, Julie, for being our very inspiring guest. I really have absolutely loved seeing how clear and the changes you've made in your business already. I can't wait to see what's happening over this next year. It's going to be so awesome. So for everybody here, contact Julie, and one of the best feedbacks that you can give us is to let us know what action you've taken. So Julie's given you some action steps. You've seen other ones as we've been going through. What I would love for you to do is contact Julie and let her know what action you took.
Yes.
Contact me, and I'm hanging out on Instagram a bit more lately. So if you've just tag me. If you've any ahas or a quote that Julie said, tag Julie and I, and I will definitely, share that through my stories. So,
and it's been a privilege, absolute privilege to be on here with you, Janet. I've always looked up to you.
Thank you, darling.
I've always loved seeing you at networking events, and I haven't seen you for a few years in between, but now it's been great to to be part of this again. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, love fest. Okay, bye everybody, and
Right.
go out there, make a difference, and I can't wait to hear what action you have taken. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I loved hanging out with you, so let's do this again. The best way to do that is to subscribe right now to Romance Your Tribe podcast so you never miss an episode. And if you'd like to dive in deeper to more episodes, great resources, and really in-depth free training, come over and join me at romanceyourtribe.com. Bye.